guys, this is Century Knight here. Today I'll be showing you my 15th Century Knight build. This includes an introduction to weapons, armor, how to use them, as well as the stats. It's a great build to play and it's very fun, so I hope you enjoy. Voila. Okay, so the list of weapons will be, first of all, as I will show you here, the longsword. Now the longsword is the most realistic looking one in this game, and although its moveset isn't great, it's still pretty decent. Now we'll also be using the halberd, as knights would have used the halberd to get into plate armor with the spiky and the axey axe. Now the armor, on the other hand, you'll have an armet, which would be the elite knight helmet, fluted chestplate, or fluted cuirass with pauldrons and stuff, which would be the elite knight plate armor, knight gauntlets because they are the most realistic looking gauntlets in this game, as well as elite knight leggings. Now this is because I couldn't find any other good looking leggings that fit the armor. I thought Lothric knight leggings, but yeah, they didn't really go too well with it because of the colour differences, and so yeah, the leggings aren't entirely all that accurate, especially with the style of sabatons for the time period, depending on what country you would have gone. Predominantly England and Germany had more pointy stuff because it's Gothic, but saying that, if I wanted to go for an English looking 15th century knight, then they would have used Gothic armor, which would be completely different. And so this is more Italian style. Well, not exactly, but armets were more predominantly used in Italy at the time period. So this is the knight build. Now the attacks you're going to use, you can use all of the attack options for the longsword, because L2 actually looks a lot like Ox in German longsword, which is pretty cool, although the attacks from it are just bullshit. Then you've got R2, which I really don't like. The R2 on the Lothric knight sword would be better suited as in terms of realism, because it kind of goes from a Ox stance into a stab, which is always good, and I prefer the Lothric knight sword in terms of its attacks anyway, because it's more of a thrusting weapon, and that would have been typical in the 15th century for longswords. But the main longsword looks fine because it is the most realistic looking longsword compared to the Lothric knight sword. What else? Okay, so the halberd would be great for use against armoured enemies. I mean, the game probably wouldn't say that because maces would, so you could use a mace if you don't want to use a halberd, but they're very useful because they can be both used as spears and are great at keeping enemies at a distance, and they are pretty good slashers. But the only slashing attack there is, unfortunately, is the R2, which is a ridiculous spin, so I suggest not using that at all if you are going for a realistic build. Now the class doesn't use any miracles either, although I am a massive miracle fan. You have to get used to just using, well, nothing really. Forget about your mana bar. Also, you're not allowed to use a shield because, I mean, you're in full plate armor. Why do you need a shield? You don't. You're practically in a suit of a shield. That makes no sense. But yeah, so no shields allowed. And with the longsword, you can either one-hand it or two-hand it, but I suggest two-handing it. Although you might want to treat it as a hand and a half, but still, one-hand it and you'll be fine. Now the stats, basically a lot of vigor. Don't put anything into attunement, really. I have, because I haven't been able to change my build much, so just all into strength and all the skills that affect the weapons you're using. Now thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!